Okay, good evening, guys. Thank you for coming. So, we have a journey ahead. The next 5 months, as you all know, crucial period. Exams are coming up, and we need to work together in order to achieve what we have to get, which is get some good results. So, as I told you in our videos earlier, we'll be working for the next 5 months with 30 plus papers. So those papers are going to consist of roughly 15 to 20 questions. So if you do your maths, you're good at maths right now, right? So we're going to add 15 to 20 questions per paper into 30 papers. We're roughly looking at 450 to 600 questions. So when we practice more, the better we will become. Right? I know you guys are all in a level, but we want to get that step higher. We want to get that A's or B's, which is still missing, right? So let's work together, and I'm sure we can do it, right? I'm sure we can do it. We'll do various questions covering all the aspects, all the topics, popular topics, which normally the examiners want to test us on, and then we will what do we say? We want to scrutinize and see what are potential questions that are going to come, right? And we'll work on those, right? So what I want you all to do, I mean, through experience, I've done a lot of papers, helped a lot of children who are in the lower levels, 30s, 40s, and by doing this set of questions, they're able to jump it, take it to the 65, 75 levels, right? And for that, I need your commitment, guys. I mean, I can't do it on my own. And at the end of the day, you're doing this exam for yourself and for your parents. This is the first gift that you're going to give to your parents. Why? Because good results, they work for you all for 10 years in school with you all, taking you through scholarships and to exams and various classes. So the best result you can do or give is this is your first step, right? And I'm sure you can do that, right? We are looking at 20 questions today. We're going to work on that. So first and foremost, what we want to do is, right, whoever is going to continue, we're going to start full time next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to print the tunes and we're going to forward it to you. And there is also a booklet consisting of all the formulas from grade 10 and 11. Right? All the formulas consisting from grade 10 and 11, which is going to be your guiding. It's going to be like your Bible, right? So that will also be sent with the tunes, right? So this set of tunes, in order to get to you, you guys need to tell me how many are going to continue. So for that, I need some information from you all. So I'll give you a deadline till tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock tomorrow deadline. I want you to send your name, right? Your name. Then I want you to put your address. Then I want you to send your email also. And I want you to WhatsApp it to this number. WhatsApp number is 0787 468 249. Right? So this will be your WhatsApp number, and you will need to send in all your details. So that we can make a packet of the tubes plus the formula book and send it to you. Okay, right? So I will give a deadline of tomorrow 6 o'clock in the evening. Even if you need more time, you just let me know. We can arrange that. That's not a problem. Okay, right? And your phone number as well. Actually, we have your phone number, because otherwise we would have contacted you all. We have your phone number already, but anyway, put that in as well. and send it to this WhatsApp number. Okay, right then. So if there are any questions, now this has to be a two-way uh, learning process. You guys, if you need help, my WhatsApp, I'm always open. My WhatsApp number, that is 0777 This is my WhatsApp number. Any help you need to send it to me. Okay, I'm ever willing to help you all out. It may not, I may not reply immediately because we're all busy, but definitely within a couple of hours or whatever, I will definitely get back to you in case you have any doubts, any questions, those kind of things we can work towards. Right? So that is, I just wanted to give you a small briefing. So then getting into the lesson method, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll be doing the questions. I'll be sending you the tools. You already have it with you. Then we will discuss the question, and it will be on the slide. I'll be sharing that also for you. So page by page we will go, and the questions will be there, and the answers will also come after that, after I discuss that on the board. So in case your screen is not clear, then you can get the answer straight away from the share screen from your computer as well. Okay, right? So if there are any questions, you can ask. So I think we can go and start the lesson, right? So let's start with question number 1. Right, so we'll go through now. What I planned today was looking at questions that you might get in paper 1, part 1. So the short answer questions consisting of 25 questions, each carrying 2 marks. So we're looking at short answer questions. So we'll look at that in today's class. Okay, all right. First question, and I'll try to write as big as possible. Find the value of square root of 16 plus square root of 18. So you have 16 plus square root of 18. Right? So square roots started in grade 8. Now we are continuing into your exams. So first, it's like brackets. Like brackets, what do? We do the brackets first. So here you have a square root, and within that you have another square root. So first what you do is you find the solution for square root of 81. Now 81 square root means 81 is a perfect square number. No? So we know what a perfect square number is. What are perfect square numbers, guys? Numbers, when you multiply one number by itself, what you get, the result is called a perfect square number, right? Whole numbers. Okay, so 81, if you find square root of 81, it's 9. So first you will get the square root of 81, which is 9. Now you have 16 plus 9 inside the square root. So you try to solve that first. Now, so 16 plus 9, you're going to get 25. Then again, 25 is also a perfect square. 25 is also a perfect square. So straight away, square root of 25 is 5. That's your answer. Right? So I'll share that on the screen also. You'll see that's your answer for question number 1. Okay, I'll just give you 10 seconds. In case you have missed it, you can take it down. All right. Going on to question number 2. Let's look at question number 2. A trader bought an article for 150 rupees and sold it for 180. Find the percentage of profit. Now, you need to break this question down in various parts. The first thing what you need to do is you need to find the profit. What is profit? Profit is the excess money that you make from the amount that you have invested. So here, the amount that you have invested is buying the article, cost price, which is 150, and then he sold it at 180. So the difference that you make from selling and buying is what we call profit, right? So here, first what you need to do, question number 2, profit is selling price minus cost price. So here he has sold it at 180 minus your cost price, which is 150. So the profit you are making is rupees 30. Now guys, you need to remember always your units you need to mention. They want the units. Okay, so always don't just write 30. 30 can be anything, 30 centimeters, 30 meters, but when you, in this particular question, 30 means rupees 30. Okay, fine. Then what is the question? They're asking percentage of profit. So percentage of profit, formula for profit percentage is profit divided by your cost price, what you bought it at, cost price into 100%. Okay, so profit percentage, profit over cost price into 100%. Okay, so profit we have already found out, which is 30. Cost price we have already we know, which is 150. So 30 over 150 multiplied by 100. Okay, so simplify 100 and 150, you can simplify. 100 divided by 50 is 2. 150 divided by 50 is 3. Now you can simplify the numerator and denominator. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now go ahead and multiply the numerators. 110 multiplied by 2 is 20%. So this is what they wanted to find out, which is your profit percentage. Okay, right? So I will give you the answers on the screen now. Okay, 10 seconds. So guys, please, if I'm going fast, just put a small message, sir, too fast, let's go back again. No problem, can be done. Okay. Everybody okay with that? Right, let's go on. Third question. Third question. Okay. So you have a small diagram there. Okay. And the measurements are given 14 centimeters. We'll take this as the center of your circle. They're asking you, the question is, find the perimeter of the given figure. Now, what is perimeter? What is perimeter? Perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the outer boundary of a rectilinear plane figure. It can be of any shape. So we want to find out The perimeter means the outer boundary length. Now in this particular diagram, they are asking you to find the outer boundary, that is this semicircle, this outer boundary plus this semicircle. That's what we need to find out. The total lengths, right? And they are giving you the center of your circle and they're giving you the length of this part. Now, what do we call that? What do we call the straight line from the center of your circle to any point on your circle? What do we call that? We call that the radius, right? So the radius of this semicircle or the diagram is 14 centimeters. So obviously, if this is 14 centimeters, this side will also be 14 centimeters. Okay. So now we need to calculate the outer boundary. So what we will do is we will split this up into three portions, right? So we call this A, we'll call this B, and we'll call this C. Right? So we split that into three portions in order to find the outer lengths. That is this. So the next step that we are going to look at is we're going to see how do we calculate this outer length, or we call it the arc length of a semicircle in this case, right? So arc length of a semicircle. What's the formula for arc length, people? Arc length is equal to theta over 360 into 2 pi r, right? Theta over 360 into 2 pi r. Theta is what? What is theta? Theta is the central angle. Central angle of any sector of a circle, right? What is a sector of a circle? You have a circle and this is a part of a circle. So we call it the sector, and this is your center. This is what we call the central angle or theta. Followed? And what is pi? Pi, you have two calculations. One is a fraction, that is 22 over 7. And if you are going to write it as a decimal, it becomes 3.14. 3.14, it just goes on, but most of the time we are going to use 22 over 7 for pi. And what is r? R is your radius. Okay. So now what we will do is we are going to find out. Now you have this semicircle, which is A. Then you have B semicircle, and then you have C semicircle. So this area is going to be the arc length of A. This area is going to be the arc length of B, and this area is going to be the arc length of C. We need to find them separately, right? So what we'll do is we'll give A arc length of A. Arc length of A. That is this. So take your formula. It says theta over 360. Now guys, you have a semicircle. Semicircle is what? Half of a circle. So that means the angle at the center, that is over here, is 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is your central angle over 360 into 2 into pi, which we said was 22 over 7, into your radius, which is, now this 14, if you take for this arc, this semicircle, 14 becomes your diameter. So your radius therefore is going to be 7. Diameter is one length, the straight line segment from one side of your circle through the center to the other side of your circle. So if you take this as an imaginary circle, then this 14 is going to be the diameter of this semicircle. So what is going to be your radius? Half of that. So R becomes 7. Okay. So simplify 180 and 360. You can simplify 180 divided by 180 is 1. 360 divided by 180 is 2. Then this 2 and this 2 you can simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. This 7 and this 7 you can simplify is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. You're left with 22. So 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 1 is 22 centimeters. Okay, that is the arc length of A. That is this part. Right, so you can write it down. Just jot it down. 22. Now let's find out the arc length of this bigger semicircle, the larger semicircle. So arc length of B is equal to, again, semicircle means central angle is going to be 180 degrees. So 180 over 360 into 2 into 22 over 7. Now this time the radius of this semicircle is this, which is 14. Okay. 180 divided by 180 is 1. 360 divided by 180 is 2. 2 divided by 2, you're going to get 1 and 1 here. Then 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 22 multiplied by 2. You got 44 centimeters, which is the arc length for this B. Okay, so you got one more. What is that? The arc length of C semicircle. Again, the diameter is 14 centimeters, so your radius is going to be 7, that you know. Okay, so let's find out arc length of B or C, sorry. So 180 over 360 into 2 into 22 over 7 into 7, which is your radius. Okay, so 180 divided by 180 is 1. 360 divided by 180 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So you're left with 22 centimeters. So you have found out the arc length here also, which is 22 centimeters. Right. So now addition of all the lengths will give you your perimeter of this figure, that is 44 plus 22 plus 22. Your perimeter therefore is 22 plus 22 plus 44, which is 88 centimeters. That's your answer for question number 3. Right? So I'm giving it to you now on the board. There you go. Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds. Go through it in case you have missed that. Okay. I will share this slide also, guys, for you all later on in case you want to go through it. That will also be done. Okay. Question number 4. So question number 4, just give me a minute. Question number 4, it says, find the value of x. Find the value of x, question number 4. they're giving you x, sorry, x is here, and this is 60 degrees. Okay, so they're asking you to find the angle that is at the center, which is x. So according to theorem, which we did, angles, the theorem, what does the theorem say? Angle subtended at the center is 2 times the angle subtended in the remaining part of the circle. So angle, the theorem says angle subtended at the center is 2 times the angle subtended in the remaining part of the circle. So what do we mean by this? What do we mean by this? What we mean by this is the angle at the center, that is x. Okay, and the angle in the remaining part of the circle is the angle that is extended up to here, which is 60 degrees. So what they're saying is, if this is the theorem, huh? The theorem says the angle subtended at the center, which is x, is 2 times the angle subtended in the remaining part of the circle. Very easy. Therefore, how much is x going to be? X is equal to 60 multiplied by 2. Why we are saying the angle at the center is 2 times that angle in the remaining part of the circle. 60 into 2, which is 120 degrees. Okay, got it? So there you go, your answer on the board. Okay, let's go on. Next question. ABCD is a parallelogram. Find the value of A and B. Now, ABCD is a parallelogram. You guys should know the characteristics of a parallelogram already. What is the characteristic of a parallelogram? Parallelogram is a quadrilateral, right? You know, parallelogram is a quadrilateral. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal and parallel. Also, opposite angles are also going to be equal, right? So in this question, they are saying ABCD is a parallelogram. Find the value of A and B, right? So let's look at that. So ABCD, question number 5. You have a quadrilateral ABCD parallelogram. Okay, I'm just going to take the diagram now. This is B, this is A, and they are saying this side and this side are equal, and this is A, B, C, and D, and they are giving you this angle which is 40 degrees. Okay, so we need to find out this angle as well as this angle. Okay, right. So looking at this diagram, we can see that these two sides are equal. When two sides are equal, straight away you try to look for a triangle over there. So do we see a triangle? We see a triangle here. So we can say triangle DBC is an isosceles triangle. What is an isosceles triangle? A triangle with any two sides equal, and so if two sides are equal, the angles opposite those two sides also become equal, right? So if you say DB and DC are equal and they're giving you A is an angle which is opposite the equal side, right? And this DC side, the angle opposite DC side is also going to be A then. Follow, right? So this is going to help you to find the value of A. Why? We know the sum of interior angles is equal to 180 degrees. So by using that formula, we can find out A here. So we can say triangle DBC is an isosceles triangle DC side is equal to DB side, right? DC side is equal to DB side. Therefore, DBC angle is equal to DCB angle, which is equal to A, right? So we know sum of interior angles adds up to 180. Therefore, 40 plus A plus A is equal to 180 degrees. So 40 plus A is 2A is equal to 180. Now we're going to try to find out the value of A. Equations. What are equations? Left hand side has to be equal to your right hand side. So we need to solve and find the value of A. Keep 2A on this side, take the 40 to the other side. So 2A is equal to 180 minus 40. So 2A is equal to 70. Divide by 2, divide by 2, A is equal to 180 minus 40 is 140. 140 divided by 2 is 70 degrees. Okay. So A is going to be 70. Right. Now we need to find out B. A is done. We need to find out B. Okay. So how do you find out B? We know characteristics of a parallelogram are what? Opposite sides equal and parallel. So that means AB is parallel to DC and AB is parallel to DC. Right? So parallel sides, therefore DB straight line or your diagonal of your parallelogram, we're going to call it the transversal in this case. So when these two are parallel and you have your transversal, we can say that ABD angle is equal to BDC angle. Why? They are called alternate angles. Right? So we'll say, right, I'll just take it onto that side. So we're going to say ABD angle is equal to DBC angle is equal to 40 degrees. Why? Because they are alternate angles. Right? So alternate angles. So then if this is 40, this angle also is going to be 40. Okay. Now still we need to find out B. So the best way to find out B is to find out this angle. Now characteristics of a parallelogram, I told you right at the beginning. What did we say? Opposite angles are going to be equal. So therefore DAB angle is equal to BCD angle. DAB angle is equal to BCD angle, which is equal to 70 degrees. Opposite sides of parallelogram. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. So then if this is 70, the angle opposite to that is also 70 degrees. Right? Now we can straight away find out B. B is your exterior angle of ADB and triangle. B is your exterior angle of ADB triangle. So what is the rule for exterior angles? Exterior angles are equal to the interior opposite angles. Right? This we have done in grade 8, 9. Exterior angles. Right? You guys should know by now. Okay? Right. So B therefore is equal to DAB angle plus ABD angle. So B is 40 plus 70. B is equal to 70 plus 40, which is 110 degrees. We can say this is a exterior angle. Okay. So therefore you have found out A is 70 and B is 110 degrees. Okay. Right. There you go. It's on the board. Guys, just to remind you, I'm just going to remind you over and over again. So this is the formula book. These will contain all these equations that you're having, formulas, and it's going to be useful. And it's got the log table and all of these things which are going to be very useful. So just please send in your name, address, and details, and we'll be forwarding this to you all. Okay, right. So continuing, going from there. Exterior angles is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. I told you all that. Okay. Question number 6, a shorter one, small one. Let's quickly go into that. Right. Question number 6. Fractions, algebraic fractions. 7x minus 5 over x is equal to 1 over 4. Very easy. And you'll be surprised that some of these questions actually come. Just hold on, guys. Just hold on. Few more minutes. Just the small technical error. Don't worry. We'll be back just a few minutes. Sorry, guys. Okay. Right. So let's try to solve this. 7x, 7 over x minus 5 over x is equal to 1 over 4. To solve, now fractions, always we have to have the common denominator. So the common denominator is already there in this equation. So 7 over x minus 5 over x, your common denominator is x. So simplify the numerator, 7 minus 5, you're going to get 2 is equal to 1 over 4. So now you have one fraction which is equal to another fraction. So what you can do is a simple way of solving is when the fractions are equal to each other, you can just do a cross multiplication in order to find the x. Okay, just do a cross multiplication to find the x. So x multiplied by 1 is equal to 2 multiplied by 4. So x into 1 is x. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. That's your answer for question number 6. Okay. So your answer is on the board. I don't want to rush into it because you might not understand or you might have some technical errors. So let's go slowly. Slow and steady will win the race. Okay. Question number 7. Next question 7. The question is the monthly phone bill of a person is 3,500. If 15% of VAT is added, what is his total monthly bill? So this comes in rates, percentages, all those questions will have questions like this. Right? So grade 10, grade 11 both have questions with percentages and rates. So we know what VAT is. What does VAT mean? VAT means value added tax. What is value added tax is what? When for goods or services, when you're giving it to a customer, there is a tax that is being levied on the customer, and this tax, which we call VAT, is an indirect tax. Why do we call it an indirect tax? It is a tax that the customer doesn't directly pay to the government. It is a tax which is collected through the point of sale. Now, what do you mean by point of sale? Now, let's say you're buying a pair of shoes that is at Bata. So, the point of sale is Bata. So, Bata collects this VAT on behalf of the government and remits it to them on a periodic basis. Whereas direct taxes are what? Direct taxes are something like income tax, right? Or rates, those are, and customs duty, all those are direct taxes. Can be directly paid to the government. Whereas indirect tax is tax like VAT, GST, goods and services tax. All right. So here they're asking you 15% of VAT is added on your phone bill, which is 3,500. What is your monthly bill? So you can do it in two ways. So first, what we'll do is we'll calculate the VAT amount first. What is VAT amount? VAT is question number 7. VAT is your value of your good or your cost price, right? Cost price multiplied by your VAT percentage. Now, VAT percentage is any value over 100. Okay, that is your VAT percentage. Okay, so how do you calculate VAT? In this case, they are saying the VAT is 15% of 3,500. So, VAT amount is equal to 3,500 into 15 over 100. Okay, 3,500 into 15 over 100. You can simplify the two zeros. So 335 multiplied by 15. So you need to do a calculation. 35 multiplied by 15, how much are you getting? 35 into 15, that's 25. 175, 0, 5, 3, you're going to get 525, which is your VAT. Right? Now they're not asking you your VAT, they want to know what is your monthly bill. Right? So then what do you need to do? You take this VAT amount, add it to your monthly bill. So your monthly bill therefore is 3,500 plus the 525, which is going to be 4,025 rupees. Right? So that is one way of doing it. What is the other way of doing it? That is method 2. Let's look at that also. In the method 2, you don't have to do two calculations. You can do it in one calculation itself. What is that? The total monthly bill can be calculated. Yeah, total monthly bill is equal to cost price into 100 plus your VAT amount over 100. Follow. 100 plus your VAT amount, which is 15%. So your cost price is 3,500 into 150 divided by 100. Okay. So this zero cancels, this and this will cancel. 35 into 115. Let's do that calculation. 115 into 35. That's 75. 0, 15, 1, 4, 3, 5, 2. So you're getting the same answer. In this case, you're just doing one calculation. Okay, so you can do it this way or this way. Try to learn to do it this way because it can save you a little bit of time. You want to save a little bit of time in any exam, but please be careful. If you're comfortable with the first method, please do that. Otherwise, you can do this with more practice. Okay, so I'll give you the question answers on the screen now. Few more minutes and you can take it down in case it's not clear. All right, let's go on. Next question. Question number 8. Logarithms. Logs. So the question says if log base m 16 plus log base m 25 equals to, we need to find the value of m. So log base m 16 plus log base m 25 is equal to 2. We need to find the value of m, right? So we need to find the value of m. So what is the rule in logarithms? First law of log says addition of logs can be written as multiplications. So log m, if you're going to write this in single notation, we know single notation as well as the expanded form. This is the expanded form of logs. First we will write it into single notation. We know addition of logarithm can be written as multiplications also. So log base m 16 multiplied by 25 is equal to 2. Okay. So 16 into 25, you're going to get 400 log base m. So then what's the next step we do? We can rewrite it in index form. No? So what is index form? Base m to the power of 2 is equal to 400. Right? Base m to the power of 2 is equal to 400. Now we need to find out what is m base. So if you square root on this side, you square root on this side. Always on both sides of the equation, we do the same thing. So square root on this side, square root on this side. The square root and the square gets cancelled. You're left with m is equal to square root of 400. Now square root of 400, we know what it is. How much is that? 400 is a perfect square number. So 20 multiplied by 20 will give you 400. So m is equal to 20. Okay, that's your answer for question number 8 on logs. So the answer will come on your screen now. Okay, question number 9. Question number 9. So, right, question number 9. Probabilities. There are 80 pages in a book. When the book is opened, find the probability of a page being an even number with 2 digits starting with 5. So now we have pages from 1 to 80. We already know that in the book. And they're saying, what is the chance of probability is the chance of you doing something, chance of doing an event. So finding the probability of a page being an even number with 2 digits. Right? Even number with 2 digits is even number is a number which can divide by 2 without a remainder. Okay, so they are asking you, it has to start with the number 5. So numbers between 1 and 80 which start with 5 is going to be from 50 to 60. Right, 50 to 59 actually, not 60 but 59. So these are your 2-digit numbers starting with 5. Then they're asking you, what are the even numbers? What are your even numbers going to be here? 50, 52, 54, 56, and 58. Then they're asking you, what is the probability of opening such a page? What is the probability of opening such a page? Now, probability of even number, even page is, you know, your total outcome. What is your total outcome? 80. Why? Because you have only 80 pages. Your total outcome is out of 80 pages. What is the probability that you're going to get an even page starting with the number 5? So we already know the number 5 pages. There are 5 of them. And out of 80 pages, so if you want to simplify this, 5 over 80 is 1 over 16 is your answer. Okay, right? Simple, very easy. Can do. It's a matter of understanding the questions. Okay, it's on your board. You can take that. Question number 9. Okay. Any questions, people? Any questions? Any doubts? Please feel free to ask. Huh? Don't keep quiet. All right, question number 10. Question number 10. They're saying speed and distance and rates. If a car runs with a uniform speed of 120 kilometers per hour, find the time required to travel 20 kilometers in minutes. Right? So if a car runs with a uniform speed of 120 kilometers per hour, find the time required to travel 20 kilometers in minutes. Okay. So first, you need to know the formula. What is the formula? Speed. Speed is equal to total distance divided by total time. Right? Total distance divided by total time. Now, they are not asking you speed. They are asking you how long it is going to take in order to travel 20 kilometers at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour in so many minutes. Okay. So, what is your total time is what you want to find out. So, total time will come here and speed will come to the denominator. So, total time is equal to total distance divided by speed. Okay, so total distance we know they have given you is 20 kilometers. What is your speed? 120 kilometers per hour. Now they're asking you to find it in minutes. So 120 kilometers per hour, you need to divide this by 60. Now 60 minutes makes an hour, no? So you need to write it over 60. So now we need to find out this. So how do you do that? 20 divided by 120 over 60. 120 kilometers divided by 120 over 60. When you do division of fractions, what do? We multiply the reciprocal. So 20 multiplied by 60 over 120, right? So this and this you can simplify. 20 divided by 20 is 1. 120 divided by 6. 120 divided by 20 is 6. Then 60 divided by 6 is 10. Since we divided it by 60 here, your answer therefore is 10 minutes. 10 minutes is your answer. They wanted the speed, the total time in minutes. So this is your answer for question number 10. Okay. Okay. Guys, you guys want to take a break? 2-minute break? Mubashir, just one moment. You're saying, can't we cut 60 and 120? 60 and 120, that is this. Yes, of course. Of course you can. 60 divided by 60 is 1. 120 divided by 20 by 60, we're going to get 2. Then 20 divided by 2, you're going to get 10 minutes. No problem, Mubashir. Great. No worries. Okay. We'll take a 2-minute break, guys. Don't go. Stay. right? Just give 2 minutes, we'll come back. Josha, just getting back to your question regarding writing theorems. No, not necessary. But giving explanation now, if you're getting if you're saying on a straight line x and this is, let's say, 140, and you're going to say x is x plus 140, then you need to write down. You need to say x plus 140 is equal to 180. Why? Because angles on a straight line, no? So those small things you need to say. Why in a parallelogram? If these two sides are parallel to each other and this is your transversal, then why are we saying this is equal to this? Alternate angles. So you can't just say this and this is equal without giving an explanation. Right? So you need to write in just in short. You need to say x is equal to x, y, alternate angles. Right? So those small things you need to specify. Okay. I hope I am helping you out in those questions. Okay, good. Right. So thanks for the questions, Mubashir and Joshua. Thank you for the questions. Keep going, guys. Right. More questions, better you become. Right. Find the value of x in question number 11. Clear out any doubts, guys. Questions. I mean, we all make errors. Even I make errors at times. You know? So learning curve. You make a mistake now. The next time, you make sure you don't do it again. And very importantly, when you do exam papers, you know, when the questions are easy, that is when we tend to make a lot of mistakes. Why? We are overconfident. So in your way, you're in such a rush to write 2 plus 2, you end up writing 5. Right? It happens. I'm telling you, it happens. So that's when you need to be extra cautious when you're doing papers. When the questions are easy, you need to be a little more careful because you can make some mistakes. Right? I'm not saying you will, but prone to making careless mistakes. And we don't want that. No? Those careless mistakes can be a touch and go between an A and B. So if you make a silly mistake and you're from 76, you can go down to 74. What happens? You're going from an A to a B. And when you do papers, make sure you recheck. Right. So we'll touch on all of that when we go later on how to do papers. how we are going to tackle papers, time management. Time management is it's a big issue. A lot of children face that. So you need to see how we are going to do, which part of a paper you need to spend less time in, where you need to spend more time in, and allocation of time for each question. So if you're doing paper one, which is consisting of 25 short answer questions plus 5 law, that's also short answer question, but it will be a 10-mark question. So 5 into 10, you have 50 marks, and then the 25 questions into 2 will give you another 50 marks. So your paper one consists of 100 marks. How are you going to do this in 2 hours? Right? So that is what the game. So 25 questions, you try to finish it in 45 minutes, roughly giving 2 minutes per question. And then you have another 1 hour 15 minutes to do the other 5 questions. So 1 hour 15 minutes, you divide it by 5 questions, you're looking at 15 minutes per question. At 15 minutes per question is quite a lot of time for a question. And if you plan yourself like that, keep your watch in front of you, and even now, start now and aim for your paper whenever you're doing questions. Timing. Okay, I'm going to do this paper within so much of time. Right? It will automatically fall in place. You won't spend too much of time, breaking your head over certain questions and so on. Okay? And regular studies, guys. I mean, I know it's very easy for me to say regular study guys are doing sports and various other things. So extracurricular drama and clubs, chess club and various things, swimming and so on. But you need to balance. I mean, at this age is the time that you can balance this. Not at the age we are past that. And you guys should be able to do that. You have young blood. Time yourself. Study according to a time, and you will be. I mean, you will feel better. You will see how well you will progress. Right? Enjoy. I mean, this is the time to do your sports. So that's why we have put it at 8 in the night. So that even your friends or who are guys who are playing rugby now. My 2 sons play rugby for St. Thomas's, right? And they're exhausted. Yeah, by the time they come at 5:30, they're exhausted. But then they take rest and then they can study after 7:38. So when you're a little late, that's why this is mainly focused for a lot of people. You're exhausted, you have a lot of things going on during the daytime. So when you do it a little late, maybe it might be tiring, but I think if you plan that, take some rest before you come, you'll be able to do this. Can do it for sure. I know you guys can do it. Okay, so right, getting back to where we started. So question number 11, find the value of x. So you have a diagram like this, and they've given you x, and they've given you here 135 degrees, and they've given you this angle which is 125 degrees. Okay, so we need to find the value of x. So if you take this triangle, only one unknown is there. We don't know these 2 angles. So we need to find either this angle or this angle. Right, so let's try to find out this angle. So we know, as I told you, you have a straight line, you have a line cutting this straight line, and there is an angle created over here. Likewise, you have another angle created over here. We'll call this y. Right? So we know from our knowledge on angles on a straight line, just now I gave you the example, angles on a straight line should add up to 180 degrees. Right? So y plus 125 is equal to 180. Right? So this is where, Joshua, you asked, do we need to write the theorem? Yes, you can just quietly write here. Y plus 125 is equal to 180. Y angles on a straight line. You don't need to write lines and lines, write it short. the angles on a straight line. So find out y. Y is equal to 180 minus 125. Y is equal to 180 minus 125. You're going to get 55 degrees. So this angle is 55. Right? So you found out y. Now, using your knowledge on triangles and one side being extended and another angle created outside the triangle, we call this angle the exterior angle. Exterior angle. So what is the rule for exterior angle? Exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So what are the opposite angles, interior opposite angles? This angle and this angle are going to be, or I'll write it from here, this angle and this angle, interior opposite angles. So the exterior angle is equal to the interior opposite angles, right? So 135 is equal to your two interior opposite angles, sum of them. So 55 plus x should give you 135, right? So what is our main aim? To find out what x is. Keep x here, take the 55 to this side. So x is equal to 135 minus 55. X is equal to 5 minus 5 is 0. 13 minus 5 is 80 degrees. So x is equal to 80 degrees is your answer for question number 11. Okay, I'll give you the answer in a moment. Okay. Well done, Bashir. Good. Just one moment, guys. Just one moment. Okay. Right. Question number 12. 5 men completed a job in 8 days, a task by working 8 hours a day for 5 days. If they work for 10 hours per day, how many days will it take to complete the task? The question is that, right? Magnitude of task. Question number 12. Magnitude of task. Right? Magnitude of task is number of men multiplied by number of days. Okay. So what they're saying here is a person is 5 men completed a task by working 8 hours per day for 5 days. Now, what do we mean by magnitude of task? That means if one person was going to do this work, this entire work, how many hours or how many days is he going to take? So we call the magnitude of task, right? So here, not one person, but 5 men are going to do the same task. They're going to work for 8 hours for 5 days. So let's calculate what is the magnitude of task here. In your question, they're working, 5 men are working 8 hours for 5 days. So number of men 8 into number of days. Number of days is 5, and also they are working 8 hours per day, right? So now the magnitude of task will be calculated in the number of man hours. Why? Because you're working 8 hours per day for 5 days, and how many men are working? 5 men will give you the total number of hours completed or needed to finish this task, right? So 8 into 5 is 40. 40 multiplied by 8, you're going to get 40. A number of men is, sorry, number of men is 5 men. 8 hours, 5 days, 40 multiplied by 5, you're going to get 200 man hours of work needed to do this complete task. Okay, so that means if one person was working, he will need 200 hours to do this work. But since 5 people are working, they're only working for 8 hours for 5 days. Got it? Right? So now they're saying if they work for 10 hours per day, how many days will it take to complete the task? So you just need to fill in the blanks. So 5 men are going to work. Now they're going to work for 10 hours, but we don't know how many days they have to work. So that is going to be X is equal to 200 man hours, because the number of hours needed to complete this task is going to stay the same. Yeah, that's not going to shift. Only thing, the number of hours, are you going to work more or less, is going to make the difference in the number of days that is required to complete this work. Okay, so 5 into 10 multiplied by x is 10x is equal to 200. 5 into 10x is 50x is equal to 200. Divide by 50. Divide by 50. X is equal to this 0 will cancel. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now, what is this? 4 is the number of days that they need to complete this task. Earlier, since they worked 8 hours, they needed 5 days to do the job. But now they are working for 10 hours, so only they need 4 days to complete the job, right? So X therefore is number of days required is 4 days. Okay, that should be your answer. I'll give you two on screen now. Guys, just want to double check with y'all. If you need more time to write and I'm rushing, you need to tell me. I won't know otherwise. You guys need to just tell me, then I'll go a little slower, or I'll pause, giving you some time to do the work. Okay? I don't feel shy. I'm telling you over and over again. We're going to win this battle together. Right? Question number 13. Let's look at question number 13. Question number 13. PQ is the diameter. Find the value of x. Right, so you need to find the value of x. So let's look at this diagram. Okay. So the question says PQ is the diameter. So PQ diameter, that means O is the center of your circle. O is the center of the circle. They are asking you to find the value of x here. Okay. So how are you going to find the value of x? Right. So in this triangle POR, we know that radius is what? The straight line from the center to any point on your circle. So PO is a radius. So is OR is also a radius. So radius means always it's going to be the same no matter what. So we can say this and this are going to be equal. So we can say in triangle POR, PO and OR are equal. PO is equal to OR radii of circle. Right? POR radii of circle. Right? So if this is the radii, that means straight away POR becomes an isosceles triangle. Two sides equal. So triangle POR is an isosceles triangle. Right? Then that means OPR angle and ORP angle are equal to each other. Therefore, OPR angle is equal to ORP angle is equal to 50 degrees. Because two angles opposite equal sides are going to be equal in an isosceles triangle. Right? So then this angle is going to be also 50. Okay. Now POR angle, that means this angle we can find now. This angle, POR angle. So POR angle is how much? POR angle is the remaining angle in a triangle. POR angle is the remaining angle in a triangle. So 180 minus just these two angles, 50 plus 50. So 180 minus 100 is equal to 80 degrees. That is POR angle. That is this angle. We write in a different color. POR angle is 80. Okay. Now we need to find out x. Okay. So x is equal to how much? How much is x going to be? How much is x? 80. This is x. This is also going to be x. Right? Sum of interior opposite angles. Why? This angle PO and OS also are going to be radii of your circle. Right? So OP is equal to OS is equal to what will you say, that radii of circle. So if these two are radii of circle, then this is x, this is also x. So interior opposite angles equals to your exterior angle. So x is equal to 80 degrees. So we'll say it like this, we'll write it this way. X plus x, this angle plus this angle is going to equal to 80. So 2x is equal to 80. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, that's your answer for question number 13. Geometry. Geometry, 10% of your exam is 10% of your exam is included with geometry. Okay, so you need to be careful, concentrate. All right, question number 14. Question number 14. Let me just give you the answers. Okay, let's go on to question number 14. Let's go on to next question. 14. Right, sets. Sets. If m is equal to open curly brackets, x colon, x is greater than or equal to -5, x is less than or equal to 5, x is an element of positive integers, write down the elements of set m, right? So this is what we call the set builder method. The set builder method, first you need to understand how to read that. So let's read that. So x colon means x is a variable, and they're saying x is going to be greater than or equal to -5, and x is less than or equal to 5, and they're also saying x is an element of a positive integer. Now z plus as a superscript, that means integer, positive integer. So x has to be a positive integer. Remember, write down the elements of set m, right? So first we'll have to write down what are the values of x greater than or equal to -5, less than or equal to 5. We'll do that first, right? So x is going to be, the values of x are going to be what then? Greater than or equal to -5 means -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x can be these. They're saying x is greater than or equal to -5, less than or equal to +5. But they're saying x is an element of positive integer. So that means x cannot be any of this. Why? Because x has to be a positive integer. It can't have negative integers. Right? So then your solution or your answer for this case, m is equal to, now we want to give the set m. M is equal to curly brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because m has to be a positive integer. You can't have negative integers. Okay? Right? So your answer, and I've given you how to read that also. X is a variable. X is greater than, sorry about the spelling over there, it should be greater than or equal to -5. X is less than or equal to 5. X is a positive integer. Okay. So your answer there on the screen. Okay, so let's go on to question number 15. Sorry, I didn't see the message. Just let me quickly read through that. One moment. Positive integers, no, 0 won't come. Okay. All right, let's go on. Question number 15. They're asking you make h as the subject of the formula 1 over x is equal to, it shouldn't be actually 1 over x, it should be 1 over h. I'm sorry about that. 1 over h. Question number 15 to be 1 over h is equal to 1 over x plus 1 over y. Right? So we want to make h the subject of the formula. Okay, please make that correction. This should be 1 over h, not x. Okay, right. So solving equations, first and foremost, in order to solve fractions, you need to have your common denominator. So the lowest common multiple of x and y, we'll take it as xy. So if it's xy, then this fraction has to be multiplied by y. So when you multiply the denominator by y, you have to multiply the numerator also by y. So this will become 1 into y is y plus this fraction. Already you have y in the denominator. In order to make it xy, you need to multiply by x, multiply by x in the numerator as well. So 1 into x is x is equal to 1 over h. So the rule, you have one fraction on one side of the equal sign, you have another fraction on the other side of the equal sign. So in order to solve, what you can do is you can cross multiply. Okay, so if you cross multiply, 1 multiplied by xy is equal to h multiplied by y plus x. So 1 into xy is xy is equal to h into y plus x. Now, what is our question? They're asking us to make h the subject of the formula. That means make h here, keep h on this side, remove the y plus x to the other side. So you need to understand this first. What are we doing here? We are taking h, multiplying it by y plus x in the brackets. So in order to remove the y plus x first, you need to divide by y plus x. When you divide by y plus x on this side, you have to do the same on the other side of the equal sign as well. Y plus x. So y plus x, y plus x and y plus x will cancel out here. So you have h is equal to x over y divided by y plus x. So you have made h the subject of the formula. Okay. On the screen, the answer h is equal to xy over y plus x. Okay. 5 questions to go. 25 minutes. Let's see. You can try to finish in 15 minutes. All right. I know you guys are tired, but let's do that. Question number 15 done. Now let's go into the 16th question. Scaled drawings and calculations. So their question is, the scale in the scale drawing 1 is to 50,000. If the distance between the two towns is represented by 3.5 centimeters, find the actual distance between the two towns. So first you need to understand what is 1 is to 50,000. If you don't know that, then that's it. Your question is gone. You need to understand what that means. 1 is to 50,000 is, right? 1 is to 50,000 means every centimeter is equal to 50,000 centimeters. That is basically what they are saying. Every centimeter is equal to 50,000 centimeters. Now, this 50,000 centimeters, you need to, now they are asking the distance between two towns. No? So, it's no point in keeping it in centimeters. Either you need to take it into meters or kilometers. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Right? So, first what we'll do is we'll take the 50,000 centimeters and convert it into meters. So 50,000 centimeters, what is the relationship between meters and centimeters? Meters and centimeters, guys. You know, every meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So if you have 50,000 centimeters, if you have to convert it into meters, what do you need to do? You need to divide by 100. Yeah. So we'll write that down. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Right? So 50,000 centimeters therefore is divided by 100. Two zeros cancels. You're left with 500 meters. So what is the scale? 1 centimeter is equal to 500 meters. So you have converted the centimeters into meters now. Right? Now they are saying the distance between the two towns is 3.5 centimeters. 3.5 centimeters into, so every centimeter we know is 500 meters. Therefore, the actual distance between the two towns is what? 3.5 centimeters into 500. 500 into 3.5 is how much, guys? So 1,750 meters. Or if you want to write it in kilometers, 1,750 is equal to 1.75 kilometers. Okay, right? That's your answer for question number 16. So these relationships between lengths, all that I'm sure you're very good at it now. You should it should be done with the eyes closed. Okay. Question number 17. Let's go on to question number 17. Write down the set notation of the shaded region. Okay. Right. So set notation of shaded region. So first let's write down draw the Venn diagram. So and this is your universal set, and they are giving you this as S, and the set inside they are giving you as T. Okay. They want you to write the shaded region in set notation. So in order to do that, the first thing what I do is I give a certain number for these different areas in the Venn diagram. For the different area of the Venn diagram, I give it a number 1, 2, and 3. Then I figure out now for set S, what is the region belonging to set S. So S set, the region for set S is 2 and 3. Because everything inside this is 2 and 3. Then I identify what is the set T. Set T is this, which is 3, right? And I also want to find out what is the complement of a set. Complement of a set is anything other than that set. So if I want to find out S complement or S dash, that means everything outside of S. So if S is 2 and 3, everything outside of S is what? 1, right? And I also want to find out what is T complement. T complement is anything outside of 3 T. So anything outside of T is what? 1 and 2. Right? Now I want to see the shaded region is what? This. That is 2. Yeah. I want to see where this 2 is. I can see 2 here and I can see a 2 here. So what does that mean? 2 and 3 here, 1 and 2 here. The value 2 is common to both those two areas, to S and T complement. You understood? So how do we write common area? We call that intersection. So what is that intersection? Common between S and T dash is your set notation. Therefore, your answer S intersection T dash is your answer for question number 70. Okay, so what is basically we're trying to find out what is common. This 2 area is common to S as well as to T dash. So we want to find the intersection of these two. This is your set notation for that. Okay, so question number 17. Sorry, just hold on. That's question number 17. Answer. Okay, right. Let's go on to question number 18. Question number 18. O is the center. Find the value of X. We have a circle. O is the center. And they're giving you this as 110. They're asking you to find the value of X over there. Okay. So again, going with the angle at the center and the angle in the remaining part of the circle. Remember, we did that in question number, I'm not sure where, a little earlier. One of the first 5 questions we did that. So again, using that same theorem, angle at the center is 2 times the angle subtended at the remaining part of the circle. So we can straight away go and find the answer. X is equal to 2 times 110. I'm not going to go in detail because we have done that in the question 3rd or 4th, I'm not sure. 2 into 110 is equal to 220 degrees. That is angle. The theorem says, I'll just write it down anyway. Theorem, angle at the center is 2 times the angle in the remaining part of circle. Okay, that's your answer for question number 18. It says 100 and 100, actually it should be 110. Should be 110 multiplied by 2 should give you 220. Okay. right? So 2 more questions to go. Let's do that. Question number 19. The equation of a straight line is 3x plus 2y is equal to 1. What is the gradient and what is the intercept? Okay. Graphs. There will be a sure question in paper 2. Question number 2, a 10-mark question. Graphs is something that you can easily get marks in, right? At least without by doing the basic stuff, you can get about 4 to 5 marks. Drawing the graph properly with coordinates, joining the coordinates, having a clean, a smooth curve, and writing down the equation, all of that, those minor small things, it will give you 4 to 5 marks. And the balance 5 marks is where the little tougher questions come, which you can do. So I recommend all of you all to work on the graph question, because that itself will boost you all up. Because 5 marks without doing anything you can get, right? The basic stuff. The balance 5 marks you can work on it. Another 2-3 marks, 8 marks out of 10 is good in any question. Okay, so let's go with the equation of a straight line is 3x plus 2y is equal to 1. So the function of a straight line, we know y equals mx plus c. Now what are these different letters? M is what we call the gradient. What is the gradient? The slope of your curve or your straight line. Every movement, x movement, how much your y movement is going up by. That is your gradient. C is your y-intercept. So what is y-intercept? When you have a graph and your line cuts, you draw a straight line and the line cuts the y-axis. Now you know this is the y, this is your x. Where your line cuts the y-axis is called the y-intercept, right? And m is your gradient, that is your slope. Every movement along the x-axis, how much your movement is along the y-axis. That's what we call the slope, right? So we'll work on that later. But now what we're doing is they're giving you the equation 3x plus 2y is equal to 1. Now this equation is not in this form, right? We need to bring it to that form. So that means keeping y on one side, taking the 3x to the other side. Normal equation solving. To take the 3x to this side, this is plus. So you have to take it to this side, you minus 3x here, minus 3x on the other side. So 2y is equal to minus 3x. 3x when it comes to this side becomes minus 3x plus 1. Now still your y is not there. So you need to divide this by 2. So you divide this whole thing by 2 on the other side, on the equal side. So 2y divided by 2, this 2 and this 2 will cancel. Y is equal to minus 3x divided by 2, because you can't divide it. It's not a whole number, so you can't divide it. So you keep it like that. So minus 3x over 2 plus, even 1 you can't divide by 2. So you can leave it as 1 over. So you have got your function over here. Now, what did I tell you? The coefficient of x is m. M is your gradient. Here the coefficient of x is minus 3 over 2. So minus 3 over 2 is your gradient. That is question number A. Answer for question number A, gradient is equal to minus 3 over 2. Question number B, what they're asking is find the intercept. Again, going back to the function, your intercept is C. Come back down to what you have just solved. So your intercept is equal to half. That's your answer for question number 19. Okay. All right. Few more minutes. Question number 20, and we'll finish it off. If you want, I'll send you this presentation again, so in case you have missed out on certain things. So let's go on to question number 20 and finish this first day. Right, question number 20, in the arithmetic progression. So what is the arithmetic progression? It is a number pattern, right? Consisting of 5, 9, and 13, and so on, it goes on. They ask you to find the 11th term. So the 11th term, in order to find the 11th term, first arithmetic progression means the difference between consecutive terms of a number pattern is always going to be equal. So we call that the common difference, right? So in question number 20, so you have 5, 9, 13 going on. So common difference is D is equal to, how do you find that? You subtract the previous number from the preceding number. So 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. Likewise, if you take this, just for example, say 13 minus 9, you're also going to get 4. So then this is called your common difference between the number terms of the number pattern. Now they are asking you to find the 11th term. So this is your first term, this is your second term, this is your third term. What is your 11th term? That's what they are asking you. Asking you to find the 11th term in this number pattern. So how do you do that? You need to find the general term. What is the formula for general term? Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. Already given to you. You should know this by now. So what is A? A is your first term. N is your number of term. And D is your common difference. Now they are asking you to find the 11th term. So 11th term is T11. I told you N is number of term. So 11. A is 5 plus N we know is 11 minus 1. Your D is 4. So 5 plus 11 minus 1 is 10 multiplied by 4. So 5 plus 40. So your 11th term is 45. Okay, that's what you're. So if you actually keep adding 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 and count the 11th term, it's going to be 45. Okay, so the find the 11th term is 45. Part B question, they're asking you to find the sum of the first 11 terms. What does that mean? 5 plus 9 plus 13 plus something plus something plus something like that, and your 11th term is 45. Add that also, and they want you to find out what is that. So sum of terms, there are two formulas. The first one is Sn is equal to n over 2 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Now we use this formula if the first term and the common difference is given, right? So we know the first term, common difference is given. There is another formula which is Sn is equal to n over 2 a plus l. Now this formula you can use in this case. Why? N term we know. We want to find the first 11 terms, right? A we know is your first term, that is 5. And we also know your last term, L is 45, because they want you to add the first 11 terms. So your 11th term is 45. So we can use this formula, which is easier, right? No harm in doing this. You can do this formula also to find the answer, but no problem. Try to use this. Let's try to find that. So sum of 11 terms is equal to 11 over 2 A is your first term, which is 5, plus 11L is 45. So 11 over 2 multiplied by 50. So this 2 and this 50 will simplify to get 25. 11 multiplied by 25 is 275. So sum of your first 11 terms should add up to 275. Okay. So, okay. Right. So we are almost done. Just one moment. Just give me a minute. 1 minute, please. Yes. Yes, Kumresh. First answer is 45. Very good. Well done. Just hold on. Just give me a minute. I just want to have a chat with you all before you guys go. That's your answer. Everything is on the slide, so I will forward that to you all. So it will be useful. Just give me 1 minute, please. Don't go. Just hold on. Okay, guys. So I hope it was useful. I looking forward to seeing all of you all again next week as well. So just a small reminder again, the WhatsApp number 078-746-8249. Please send in all your details, name, address, and email ID. Very important because it will be easier for us to send you the cutes and the formula book and so on. And another very important thing is please try to add another number and send a message. Just in case we can't contact you on one number, we should be able to contact you on another number. Right? So please do that. And looking forward to seeing you all. Right? So one more thing, I will definitely send you the presentation. It is already sent. You can please download it. And secondly, please tell your friends also to come and join. I mean, it's not very late. It's a time that you all can see and view it and be in the class. And so just tell your friends also to come and join us. Right? Thank you so much. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you guys next Friday at the same time at 8 o'clock. Bye bye and good night.